Alright, so just finished up the session, which was quite nice. There was only Pippi there, not Penelope didn't come this week, so it was just kind of one-on-one, and then Sam was obviously there as well. So yeah, I mean, it was quite nice. The weather was nice, and then also, so obviously because it's a Sunday rather than a Wednesday, I think she had a bit more energy. Normally, I would say they get here and they seem quite tired after a day of school, so that was good that they were quite energetic this morning. I think the session went quite well. There were some bits which were maybe too easy. Maybe after last week, they were good, but maybe I didn't realize how good they were. I mean, like I said, some of it was nice. There's a drill where you essentially put out some cones on one side of the court, and they just aim. So I hit the ball over the net. They hit it back, but try to get it into the area. And actually, that one worked really well because that kind of did challenge them to actually focus on an area and hit the ball across court into it. When they do a lot of rallying and forehand shots, they seem to just do it straight back and forth rather than across court. So that seemed to challenge them quite well. Maybe a drill that didn't work too well was at first there's a floor tennis game. Perhaps isn't quite to their ability, but in terms of they're maybe too good for it. But with some adaptations, I think that's quite a nice one to do to start with, warm up. And then, I mean, eventually they just progressed throughout the session and did a rally at the end and ended up doing a few more than last time. I think the last time they did 6 shots back and forth to each other, whereas this time I think they managed about 8, which, although isn't a huge improvement, I mean, it's a nice little marker to go off. But yeah, to be honest, like I said, there was some things that worked and some things that didn't work. So there's a lot to move forwards with. I would say the things that didn't really work weren't necessarily bad drills for some people. So like some under 9s, those drills probably would be fine, but because these girls are probably they're under 9s, but they probably play like under 12s, didn't perhaps work as well as it could. And I think moving forward, I just need to make sure I challenge them, or within the drill, make sure that there's a good enough progression. Because I did have some progressions on there, but perhaps maybe I need to think a bit more outside the box and really think of something that could almost completely change the game on top of its head, or maybe figure out a bit more of, get some more ideas of drills to do in my head, more games, and then, if something doesn't really work, I can just adapt nice and quickly, change it up. Essentially challenge them. I think keeping it simple as well, though, because I need to keep to those core basic principles in terms of the free movements they're doing for a forehand shot, in terms of like the stance at the start, turning to the side, and then following through with the ball. So obviously keeping it simple with that, but actually having drills that do challenge them. But yeah, I mean, they're good little players, and I quite enjoy coaching them. And when the weather's like this, you cannot complain. So I'm looking forward to next week's. But yeah, like I said, a few changes to do, just to make it a bit more challenging for them.